Universe, endless and great, enigmatic and incomprehensible, and the one from billions of stars and planets, the one we are living on. This planet is the cradle of mankind, the most precious and beautiful for us. Centuries by centuries, the civilization on Earth develops. All the time, looking to the mysterious depth of space, dreaming about faraway worlds, the humanity advanced and gained new knowledge. Ukraine. How much caress and affection is there in this world? Ukraine. How rich is your history? Ukraine. How many vivid pages have your children added to the world's history? Just here, among endless steppes, near the Dnipro Rapids, the night glory of our ancient and powerful Ukrainian spirit was born. Its power was invincible spirit of Zaporizhia freemen, the power of the best children of their motherland. Cossack Sich stood on the edge of the native land to protect it from hostile hordes. Glory and honor of Cossacks, obtained by sabers in bloody fights, never broken by enemy's sword and fire, went through centuries. Bones of knights are buried in graves all over the white steppe, but their souls shine as stars from the sky, as our guide to the future. Cannons of the Great Patriotic War were still shooting, but in Dnipropetrovsk, devastated by occupation, already in the year 1944, the construction of Great Factory began. The factory, which would be soon widely spoken about all over the world. The giant range, the attention of the highest leaders. Definitely, this would be one of the largest plants of the country. The giant of automobile construction, producing up to 100,000 of cars each year. With salvos of victory salute, dreams about great future had come. But the war that had just finished gave the existence to the new terrible weapon of extinction of people, to the counterstanding of two worlds' political systems. In the depths of Soviet military machine, basing on trophy German rockets, the study of possibility of analogous production had begun. It was headed by Sergei Korolev, the man who later became the father of Soviet space program. In 1951, barbed wire and high fence encircled the Dnipropetrovsk automobile plant. Since then, it has been the Mailbox 586. Few people knew about works carried out on the plant. At the beginning, it was a base of serial production of the first Korolev's rockets. In 1954, the Independent Design Office was created on the plant, directed by outstanding constructor Mikhailo Yangel. Now, it is Design Office Vivden, the South. The work of original, principally new military missiles began in the new office. On the base of them, Soviet rocket forces of strategic intention were created. Middle-range double S-4R-12 battle missile became the first original development of the new office. The new success is the creation of powerful middle-range missile double S-5 R-14 and intercontinental missile SS-7 R-16. This missile made possible for DO Pivdenne and Pivdenmashzavod to hold undoubted leadership in the world rocket construction. As the Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev said, "We produced rockets as sausages." Other important milestones are the development of SS-9 R-36 missile with unlimited range, creation of underground-based SS-17 and SS-18 missiles with splitted warheads, creation of solid-fuel three-stage missile SS-24 with underground and railway basing. During 4 decades of the space era, the plans of Ukraine had constructed 4 generations of strategic battle missiles, which formed the powerful nuclear rocket shield of Soviet state. Besides military developments, Ukrainian scientists, designers and rocket assemblers were involved in all important space projects of the Soviet Union. The creation and launch of the first artificial satellite, the first flight of man into space, program of flights to the moon, launches of Salyut and Mir orbital stations, the launch of Energia Buran rocket system, and others. All steps to space were connected with Ukraine, with its high scientific and technical potential, power experimental and production base. However, battle intercontinental ballistic missiles were the main space production of Ukrainian enterprises in Soviet times. At the end of the 80s, before the decay of the Soviet Union, more than 100 strategic missiles were produced in Ukraine annually and immediately began their military roster. The year 1991.
Ради українське РСР проголосити 24 серпня 1991 року Україну незалежною.
Ukraine chooses the independence. The Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. As a legacy, Ukraine gets not only the world's third rocket nuclear potential, 130 missiles SS-19 and 46 up-to-date SS-24, but also 1/3 of the rocket space industry of the former superpower. Nuclear-free status, declared by Ukraine, which required the liquidation of all nuclear armory on its territory, led to gradual reduction of Rocket Forces strategic divisions quartered in Ukraine, and put a full stop on the program of future creation of battle intercontinental ballistic missiles. Many skeptics predicted the decline of Ukrainian rocket space industry. But scientists, designers, engineers and workers, all people who were not indifferent to the fate of our space technologies, found enough courage and strength not only to preserve achievements of previous years, but to inspire the new life to the home space complex, redirecting it to the peaceful purposes. Already in February 1992, the National Space Agency of Ukraine was created by the decree of the Ukrainian president. It made possible to clear the purpose of space activities in Ukraine. The work over the first national space program of Ukraine had started. Its main purpose was to preserve the scientific and production potential of space industry and consolidate Ukraine as a space state. To join all activities in the space branch, the National Space Agency of Ukraine takes under its management more than 30 design offices, industrial enterprises, scientific institutions and organizations, directly engaging in space projects and production. The most famous among them are Design Office Південне and Південний машинобудівний завод, Комунар and Hartron from Kharkiv, Kyiv Radio Plant and Kyiv Prilad, Chernigiv Plant Chezara, Yevpatoria Spacecraft Testing and Control Center. Former military plants got the task to work for peaceful space. First results came soon. August 1995. Ukrainian carrier Cyclone 3 puts into orbit the satellite Sich-1, first homemade spacecraft for remote sounding of the Earth's surface. Sich-1 becomes the significant achievements of Ukrainian science and technology. Ukraine didn't choose the way of ordering the construction of spacecraft and launch services in other countries, but effectively used its own scientific and production base. The launch of the first Ukrainian satellite allowed to create the full life cycle of space system on the national level, from development and manufacturing of satellite to the operation and distribution of proceeding information. In almost 2 years, the unification of separated fragments of production, scientific and operational space structures of Ukraine into the integer space industry of the country took place. So, the name of the first national satellite had symbolic meaning: Slava и честь, glory and honor of Ukraine. The National Space Agency started intensive international activities. First contracts about cooperation in the peaceful development of space were made with space powers of the world. In November 1997, the important event in Ukrainian space activity took place. According to the agreement between Presidents of Ukraine and United States of America, the first spaceman of independent Ukraine, Leonid Kadeniuk, accomplished his flight as a member of the crew of American space shuttle Columbia. During the 16-day flight, he carried out scientific experiments in the field of space biology. The orbital operation of Sich-1 satellite under Ukrainian jurisdiction and the flight of Ukrainian spacemen became serious argument in strengthening of the space status of our country among the world space community. But world trends in space sphere and the life itself requires next steps for widening of international cooperation from the National Space Agency of Ukraine. In March 1999, the first start of space launcher Zenit 3 SL from floating launch pad in the Pacific Ocean takes place, according to the international project Sea Launch. Ukrainian DO Pivdenne and Pivdenmashzavod become participants of this commercial project along with enterprises of the United States of America, Russia and Norway. The next successful step of Ukraine is the commercial project Dnipro. It includes re-equipment of battle missiles S-18 Satan produced by Pivdenmash into peaceful 3-stage rocket Dnipro and assignment of commercial launch services. Enterprises of Ukraine, Russia and Kazakhstan take part in the project. In May 1999, the first launch of Dnipro rocket is realized. July 1999, Ukrainian carrier Zenit 2 puts unique Ukrainian-Russian satellite Okean O into orbit around Earth. The weight of the craft is over 6 tons. It is 3 times more massive than Sich-1 satellite. The aim of the mission is remote sounding of the ocean and continental surface. July 2001. The rocket Cyclone 3 launches the Ukrainian-Russian spacecraft Koronos-F, developed by DO Pivdenne for the exploration of solar activity. The new step on the way of widening of cooperation in space sphere is the signing of common documents with Brazil about using of Ukrainian launchers at the Brazilian Space Center. The combination of advantages of the new Ukrainian carrier Cyclone 4 and Brazilian low-latitude launch site Alcantara in the frame of common commercial project creates exclusive possibilities for both countries to enter confidently the world market of space services. A lot was done during the years of activity of the National Space Agency of Ukraine. International recognition of Ukraine as a space state was ensured. The space industry, which maintains the full life cycle of rocket space equipment, has been formed. Five rocket complexes, Cyclone 2, Cyclone 3, Zenit 2, Zenit 3SL and Dnipro are operated on three foreign launch sites, Baikonur, Plesetsk and Sea Launch. The new line of light and middle-class home-built launchers Mayak is being developed. New Ukrainian spacecraft Sich-1M, Sich-2 and Libid are being developed and prepared to launches. The space science has got the new advance. Our scientists take part in 25 international projects. Exclusive results of the world's significance were obtained in Project Koronos, Interball, Variant. More than 40 new scientific experiments are prepared for realization on International Space Station. Ukraine widens its participation in international space programs. Enterprises of the space industry take part in 50 commercial projects. Sea Launch, Dnipro and Cyclone 4 are the most important of them. In the nearest years, space technologies will be used for manufacturing of civil production for energetics, communication, transport, medicine and agriculture. Two components, space and civil, have equal priority for the space industry of Ukraine today. The space march of Ukraine is fast and powerful, just as an attack of Cossack rank. Our far ancestors, glorious knights of Sich, had not even dreamed about flights to stars and studying the universe. About their descendants, who would make the world's most powerful rocket arm, later give it up by their own will, for the peace and independence of their native Ukraine. But they surely hoped that their Cossack glory would never die, and their grandchildren would be worth of their origin. And our Space Sich, all achievements of Ukrainian space branch, in some sense is appropriate continuation of urns of Cossack Sich.